Are you ready to unravel why a simple piece of paper with green ink rules almost every country, every bank, and nearly every ambition on the planet? Picture this: you're in Tokyo, London, or Cape Town. Ask for the price of gold, oil, or Bitcoin, and the answer? US dollars. But why? What made the dollar the world's indispensable currency? The dollar is our currency, but it's your problem. John Connolly, former U.S. Treasury Secretary, 1971. Did you know the U.S. dollar's earliest rivals were Spanish coins and British pounds? In 1776, the newborn United States wasn't flush with shiny currency. It was desperate, borrowing, even using IOUs called continental dollars, that nearly ruined the economy. It took years before confidence was restored. What would have happened if Americans had stuck with British pounds or Spanish pieces of eight? The fate of our country may depend on our public credit. Alexander Hamilton. Was the dollar always destined to rule, or was an economic collapse just one bad coin flip away? Fast forward, America strikes gold, literally and figuratively. The gold standard anchors the dollar, every note backed by a vault of gleaming metal. Suddenly trust surges and, "In God we trust," dovetails with, "In gold we trust." But did gold make the dollar strong, or did the dollar make gold the ultimate prize? How did that change the way nations viewed American power? A dollar is worth precisely what you can get in exchange for it. Economist Paul Samuelson. Could the system ever have worked without gold? What if a different resource, oil, maybe even Bitcoin, became the standard? World wars shook every economy, except, it seemed, America's. As Europe rebuilt after World War II, a secretive meeting in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, transformed the world. The dollar was crowned king, pegged to gold, while every other major currency was pegged to the dollar. Was this global domination by agreement, or by American muscle? Did other nations really trust the U.S., or did they have no choice? Why did Francis Charles de Gaulle demand American gold in 1965, calling the dollar's supremacy a hegemony? What happens to a system built on faith when leaders start to doubt? August 15, 1971. President Richard Nixon severs the dollar's link to gold. Overnight, money exists by decree, not discipline. Inflation rages. Governments panic. Yet somehow, the dollar doesn't just survive, it dominates. Was this financial wizardry, or did the world have no better options? Why didn't other currencies, yen, euro, pound, step up? If confidence is everything, what really keeps the dollar alive now? Could the whole machine unravel at the flick of a political switch? The strength of a currency rests ultimately on the strength of the economy behind it. Federal Reserve Publication, 1974. Would another nation ever gain enough trust to dethrone the dollar? Behind the scenes in the 1970s, another deal was struck. Oil-rich nations agreed to price oil in dollars, cementing worldwide demand. Now, energy equals dollars, and every country trading oil must keep stacks of Benjamins on hand. Does this oil for dollars system empower America, or quietly breed global resentment? What happens if oil giants pivot to another currency or digital coins? Could this be the dollar's Achilles heel? The United States benefits from what is known as the dollar's exorbitant privilege. The Economist, 2019. In today's world, digital money, cryptocurrencies, and rising powers like China and the EU are challenging the old order. What happens if a country's digital currency, like the digital yuan, wins global acceptance? Does a Facebook-backed stablecoin threaten the dollar, or just expose its strengths? Is the dollar's greatest threat technological, political, or simply a matter of trust? If the next financial crisis hits, will the world flee the dollar, or embrace it tighter than ever? The dollar remains dominant, but for how long? Reuters, March 2023. Could we live to? So, why does the dollar rule the world, and could that change tomorrow? Is its power backed by economics, military, psychology, or simply habit? Would a world without the dollar as a center be fairer, or far?
Would a world without the dollar as a center be fairer or far more unstable?
What would you do?
Let us know in the comments. If the dollar vanished tomorrow,
What would you trust with your savings?